with our speaker today, our panel. His name is Victor Alete.
Hello everyone, nice to be here.
I will be discussing on the topic of youth in agriculture and how we can motivate youth in agriculture.
Okay, so basically, people don't know I'm an engineer. I actually studied gas engineering.
Wow.
Specialized in drilling engineering.
And that would have been an oil company job.
But when I came back from my course in drilling engineering, I would say the country, that was the point where the country started going, or the world generally started going down in the oil and gas sector. So I took it upon myself and I said, you know what, let me look for, I would say, the next best thing. At the time, my thoughts, not knowing that that was actually the best thing. Oil and gas is second to it. And then I entered headlong. I didn't have any mentors. I didn't have any direction. I just knew farming was the way. And I entered and I ran losses for the first 4 or 5 years. I was in negative. I was owing banks. I was owing my friends. But as God will have it, over the years, with experience and then with perseverance,
Okay.
I've come to see and overcome the challenges, and we are here today. So for this generation, I would like to tackle them because I know this next generation, Z and Alpha,
Z and the Alpha,
they are not ready to put in the work and the time. So what I mean is, you don't necessarily need money to start farming.
Okay.
So when everybody says, oh, money is the major problem, money is not the major problem. Are you willing to learn? You can go and assign. So abroad they do these internship things where you submit yourself. I want to learn. Even if you're not paying me, I want to learn.
Why should they even go to farming festival as a youth?
Okay, so farming,
as a Rivers youth that has oil company.
Oil and gas, right?
Yes.
So I'm a Rivers youth. I even studied the oil and gas. But
so
I'm telling you for a fact. I'm telling you for a fact. Okay, let's use COVID for an instance.
Okay.
COVID hit, the world shut down, but everybody ate food.
Right.
So that should be the motivation.
Right.
If you're a right thinking youth, you should know that is motivation.
Right.
Because anyhow the world wants to go, even the madman on the road eats.
Does being food.
Do you understand? He must eat.
True.
The clothes you're wearing,
cotton, wool.
The house you're living inside, the wood. So anyhow you want to do it, agriculture is the way. We only think of agriculture as food. We forget that clothes are part of agriculture.
Yeah.
The house you're living inside, wood,
yeah,
it's part of agriculture.
Okay.
So one way or the other, agriculture is the only way. I like to say it's the only way. It's not just the way. It's like after Jesus is agriculture. A friend of mine once said, data is key. You have to have data to know what you are trying to achieve. For instance, our parents used to just farm, subsistence farming. You just probably, I'll call it one plot. Inside that one plot, they want to plant cassava. Inside that one plot, they want to plant palm tree.
Pepper.
They want to plant pepper. That is only what can sustain your household, and a little extra for sale. Meanwhile, they have farmland that they'll say, oh, this is our family farmland. Hectares, acres, wasting. They were not actually farming. They were just doing to sustain themselves and a little for trade. But when you want to go into farming, you know that, okay, if I'm planting one plot of cassava, for instance, will give me 1 ton of garri. This 1 ton of garri, don't forget, cassava is, even with the high yield ones, is 6 months. If I sell 1 ton of garri, will it sustain me for 6 months?
Okay.
So you know that if I want something that will sustain me for 6 months, I need to have, for instance, 6 plots, which will give me 6 tons.
So that means there will be a whole lot of training to make people understand.
You have to go into the business. Like currently, I'm doing a master's in agribusiness.
Wow. Wow.
So you have to know what you are doing, not just saying, "Oh, I'm a farmer."
Or I've looked for a job.
Exactly. I can't find anything. Let me go
and
go into farming. That is not how it's done. Even if you find your way and stumble in, no problem.
Yeah.
Look for somewhere and learn.
Mentorship.
Surrender
Apprenticeship.
yourself. Apprenticeship. These Igbo people, we think they are mad when they are doing this. It's even studied abroad in some schools. They are studying this Igbo apprenticeship.
True.
It is one of, even if you check the Bible, it's even there. What's his name? Was it Joseph worked for Jacob that worked for 7 years because of woman? So basically, you know what I'm saying.
Yes,
he worked. He sacrificed 14 years.
Yes.
Because he wanted to achieve a goal. Let's forget the goal. But the thing is, he put himself under authority for a couple of years. He could have left after the first year.
True.
But he wanted to get something. So he went through it. You want to say there were no challenges? Even him and the girl would have quarreled within that 1 year. Within that 7 years. Not once, not twice. But because he knew what he wanted at the end of the day, he stayed. Patience. This next generation, I will say it freely, they don't have that patience.
Okay, so how do we now motivate youth to go into farming? We see a whole lot of youth out there reading agriculture, agric extension, and a whole lot. In short, the faculty of agriculture. I was with the HOD the day once, and he was telling me, if it's soil science, just one person, nobody's coming for this. So what is the motivation? How are we going to push them? Well, because looking at it right now, I discovered there's a whole lot of things that the youth can actually do. Because, looking at what farming has to take in place right now, agriculture without the youth will be a disaster. Knowing very well that we'll have farming like the soilless out there. We'll have the ones that do greenhouses. Old men will not come and do green farming for us. The greenhouse farming. Of course, I will move to climate change farming. Because of the climate change we're having here. And there's a whole lot of things out there. Now we're discussing about data. Older men will not go out there to get data. But the young ones will know. They know how, and of course they know cyber security. They're the one that input this data to the computer. And we have about sales. So there's a whole lot of way the youth can come into place. If you don't want to do the farm work, you can build in apps that can do this farm work. You can move drones. There are a whole lot of things now. So how do we now tell you? Because I'm really passionate about this, especially for the South here in River State. I'm really passionate to see how we can tell the youth, look, if you're looking for a job, or you shouldn't wait until you look for a job, always have an alternative to say, look, there's so much we can do here in this family. So how do we encourage them?
You've already answered your own question.
Okay.
There are many ways the youth can come in.
Okay.
We are talking about data. How do you get the data? You've answered it. It's the youth that will go out there and source this data. So you can, if you say, okay, I want to create an app. So now, first of all, if you want to use the app way, the app, are you focusing on consumers or are you focusing on producers?
Consumer, producers.
You understand? You have to know where your target audience is. So you know, okay, if I'm now focusing on producers, how do I now go to the innermost parts to find those micro farmers? Because those are your main target, not your big farmers. Your big farmers are loud, they are out there. But the smaller ones, who are the ones struggling? Because those are the ones that can sustain the nation, not the big ones. The big ones are not targeting you. The big ones are targeting export. The smaller ones are the ones that target you and I. So it's them you are thinking of. Now everybody is thinking production, consumption. For who is doing the logistics in between?
The storage.
Who is doing the storage? Who is handling the cold chain? You understand? There are many ways to come in. Packaging. Branding. There are many ways to enter this industry.
Yeah.
I was joking with some friends of mine back in the day when I left the oil, this thing, and they were like, you left oil and gas for agric. I laughed. I said, yes. There are many ways to enter oil and gas. In the rigs, they eat.
They supply the food.
So if I supply the food, I'm still in oil and gas. You understand? So we have to go back to the basics. So as a youth, you're thinking, how do I come into this agric sector? There are a lot of ways. People are just waiting for, we heard fish farming is making money now. Everybody wants to run to fish farming. Now, okay, let's even say you're going to fish farming. Somebody is selling the feed. Have you thought of selling feed? Somebody is transporting the feed from, because we don't produce the feed here.
Sure.
It comes from out of the state. Have you thought of the value chain of how you bring the logistics part?
Sure.
Even if you don't have the trucks, you can go there, buy, escort the trucks. There are many ways to go about these things.
You know, if you've not looked at for a problem to solve, you can never see the solution.
You can never.
You know, we were discussing this afternoon and we talked about a whole lot. Like for the youth that are in communities, especially the riverine communities, we talked about the seaweeds, and we also discussed about the water hyacinth. This other one that you put in fish. Azolla.
Duckweed.
Now, my friends have to go all the way to
Delta State.
to get Azolla. Meanwhile, you can get Azolla in our river, in Bayelsa, in Odua, and these are things that, you know, I know NGC now go about using
paying people to clear it.
Play high.
So let me give you something. I went with a friend of mine to Odua in River State, and then you know this moi moi leaf.
Planting.
No,
okay, that moi
the moi leaf. Yes. I was surprised to see that it's a leaf on its own, not plantain small. I used to think it was baby plantain suckers that they used to cut and use. No, but it's a leaf on its own. It's just wasting there. They don't even use it. People just go cut and carry. That is.
And the youths are there. They are
looking for job.
Meanwhile,
they are saying, "Oh, there's no job in the country." There's no. But that moi leaf is $1 million project.
In fact, recently I was actually in a training and we are doing step down. And part of the policy that Nigeria has is dairy policy. And they said something that while we are solving the issue of, you see, cows are now going from the north down to south, have you noticed for the dairy policy that those cows don't produce enough milk? The ones that stay in the ranch are the ones that produce enough milk. And they're not saying that. Do you know that these cows, they need feeds, they need grasses, they need things that we can actually eat.
That we have down south.
And the south can actually grow those things. And if you don't want to grow, this Azolla and other things, they actually help for milking. It makes the cows produce milk because it's highly proteinous. So while you're in the community, you have water bodies around you. You can decide to say, okay, those water hyacinth, those water things that grow around the water that NDC takes, they pay. You can actually use it, dry it, and send it to the north as business. So there's a whole lot of value chain out there. And I think that's one of the things why we said, let's have a conference for farmers. So let's get to experience what exactly are these value chain. Making Nigeria conference, which is agric and tech. And we're calling the youth out there. If you're out there, if you're looking out for what to do as a youth, if you want to look out for the value chain, because now we now have to make it clear for everybody. Look, there are different places you can join into this agric business. You can start the farming work, or you can go into that value chains, and the value chain is very broad. We need a lot of information. We need a lot of things that tell us that this is what you're going to do, this is what you should do, this is how you're going to start. And then we talked about mentorship. That's why this conference is very important. There will be a lot of mentorship section where we sit down and say, okay, if you're interested in this, if you're in the tech center, can we do this? Can you do this? And you'll be guided. My friend here, he said something. He started this farming without mentorship, and his first 5 years was a blunder. If Victor is to mentor you, you will not make a mistake for the first 5 years, because he will tell you what the mistake was, and you're going to start on a clean place. And that's what we are calling for every one of us here. If you're a youth out there, if you're a young person, and then for our parents, don't think that agric is a poor man business. I'm going to say that again.
Let me say this. I remember growing up.
Okay.
When we say, oh, mommy, I want to go and play football, they used to flog us. Say, my friend, go and read your book. Today, every parent, deep down, wants their son to be a footballer.
True.
Because of how much they are earning.
The money.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
That's how it is. Because they don't see ahead. They are all Nigerians. We have that problem. Down south is a major problem.
True.
We all have that now.
I've suffered as a farmer.
I've suffered.
I didn't send it to school. Will not suffer.
So we should live the now. When I started agriculture years back, it's not like now that it's attractive that people are rushing in.
Exactly.
When I started it, it was a dirty business. The point is, the business is attractive. You don't necessarily need money to start.
True.
Find the value chain. find that area where you can start.
Go for apprenticeship.
Azolla, duckweed,
Seaweed.
what they call this other one, water hyacinth.
Water hyacinth.
These are things that grow naturally.
And you know there's a
You just
company-
need a pool of water to culture it.
True.
1 kg of azolla we just bought last week for 10,000 naira for 1 kg.
For something we did for Bayelsa.
We just did backyard. It's in River State. Bayelsa is far. Odual is not Bayelsa. Odual is, and it's pretty much in every other riverine area.
Yeah.
So it's things you can just harness. If you don't want to sell it down south, you dry it, you make contact. The world is now a global village.
True.
Make contacts with the north. Export, gather it. Oh, okay, what's your consumption per month or per week? You harness it, dry it, process, and send. You are not even the one paying for logistics. They are the one that will pay because we paid for our delivery. Your own is to produce and market yourself.
You know.
Which is where collaboration comes in also. Because
Networking.
if I'm producing and I don't have the contacts in the north, and somebody has the contacts, I should not be afraid to say, if I give you my thing, you will not go and steal the market. We should be able to collaborate. I collaborate a lot.
True. True.
There's no new thing in my sector that my group of farmer friends don't know about.
True.
Because as the information is coming to
True.
me, I'm making the, in fact, it's like a thing of joy to call like, oh, but I don't discover this new thing. Oh. We need to try this, we need to try that.
Yeah.
You understand? So we
Working together.
work together.
Collaborate.
We
Share
notice that
ideas.
there's no, I don't think I've seen any shower shop farm down south. I've seen 1 or 2 in people's compounds.
But
Nobody has
intentionally
actively
shower shop.
farmed shower shop that I've seen. And I know somebody that makes shower shop tea just from the leaves. So while you're waiting for the 4 years or 3 years or 2 years that the shower shop will produce, will be mature enough, you've already started selling leaves to who is making tea. So revenue has already, shower shop, nothing you are doing.
True.
Is rain.
True.
Your own is to, from time to time, make sure you weed the environment. If the food is excess, you see the prices will crash. People will be more relaxed.
True.
You understand?
Yeah, I get.
To production, the value chain, before you think of consumption.
You know, looking at all this, we cannot exhaust all this information. That's why we are telling you. September, where will you be? Remember, we need information. We need to be informed. We need to grow. We also need to learn. We also need to search and have information on what is going on in agriculture. That's why we are saying, come to the future for all you're looking out for. It's 5 days event. You cannot see that anywhere where you have a conference of 5 days. We're going to be tackling all this: technology, farming, new procedure, policies, networking. How do we start from? Mentors. And these are all more that we'll be looking at for the future. Watch out for the future.